Let's be honest, community matters more than discipline.
Okay, but isn't discipline something you do for yourself?
Technically, but you've been told that discipline is the answer to everything, and it's not. You've been told no excuses, no days off, figure it all out by yourself, or just give up and don't do it because you're weak. But what if it's actually the thing that's been holding you back?
I see that because I am a people pleaser and I am a procrastinator. So if it's for someone else, I can work really hard and do it. But when it's for myself, I kind of struggle. And that's where the community aspect comes in, I guess.
Yeah, look, I think it's hard because discipline does come across as this thing that you have to do by yourself. It's definitely been glorified online and you do get guilted if you can't do it by yourself. It can be very unsustainable and lonely if you do take the discipline route. And I think that people just don't have a good definition of it really because of social media. I'm not saying that discipline doesn't matter. I'm just saying that it's not the whole picture and other things can help you actually achieve it. So for example, like I started running last year and it was something that I had never done. Like I always told myself, you know, I'm not a runner. When I started running, it just became this thing that like I was doing with Grace, my friend, and we were going for walks. And then I just said one day like, hey, I'm pretty keen, like I downloaded this app, I'm keen to just start doing a little bit more. And she was like, I'll do it with you. The day that I actually hit my 10 kilometers, we ran it together. That was like my first PB and I did it, you know, I did the training on my own, that was rough. But I did that knowing that Grace was going to be there and I was really excited. And Asha also ran it too. When it came to half marathon training, you know, I hit my 10 and I was like, what do I do now? And again, I was doing 4 to 5 days of training on my own and it was really rough. But the thing that got me into it was Asha actually saying to me, I will do it with you. He said, if you do it, we can run it together for your birthday. And I was like, oh, that's so good. And it really helped me accountable to that. And as a result, I had discipline. But if it wasn't for those two, I literally never would have, I don't think I would have run those.
Yeah, I feel like I don't really go for runs by myself, but when I'm with you, we go for walks, we go for runs. Yeah, so it makes me feel like more motivated to do it when I know it's like with someone else. Like, it just feels more exciting. So like, I understand it works better with a community, not so much just telling myself to do it. Because when I do that, I don't really do it.
Yeah, having someone there is just nicer. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. You're not a failure if you need to rely on someone. You're not a failure if you have a coach. Like, even coaches have coaches. And I think that it's like, yeah, it's just this thing that's been glorified and I'm a bit over it, to be honest. You know, even when I did hit my big runs and I was sharing them on social media, it's funny because like no one was really there for the grit of it. But at the end, everyone was like, oh, how are you so disciplined? Like, I'm so inspired by you. And I just kept saying, well, I had people for me. Like I had a community, I had support. That's what got me there. Like I wasn't really disciplined.
In that case though, what would you say for people that like feel like they don't have a community? These days, our age group between like 18 to 35 or something is the loneliest generation right now. That, you know, they don't really have people.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy actually. Especially because like as the social media generation, like we're supposed to be like the most connected. And yet I've also read the stats that we are the most disconnected from reality. And yeah, from the outside, we definitely look like we've got people. I would say that community fixes what discipline can't. So you're going to have to find one, to be honest. And they're out there. Like, we are still the most connected. So whether that is online or, you know, you're going to find an online community, like a challenge or something like that, we can meet people. Or whether that is in person, like, you know, you don't go for walks and we're not around, which is crazy to me because you're so social and you've got a lot of friends. I know for myself, I'm obviously interstate. I didn't grow up here. So being in Adelaide, what I do is in the morning while I get ready, like 10 minutes before my morning walk. I hate walking in the morning for context, but what I do is I go through my Instagram log and I literally call every person on there until someone picks up. And if they pick up, I'm like, hey, I just wanted to chat. I'm going for my morning walk. All of a sudden, I'm going for a morning walk. So that is like my tip. And I would also say attach community to something you're already doing, like the walk. If you are, you know, doing Pilates at home, do it Pilates community. Like, you know, maybe go to a class just once a week. Maybe look up Pilates events near me if you don't want to, you know, sign up for something weekly. You can just go to those big events on the beach and then just meet a bunch of people. They actually had a stat the other day that said belonging and shared motivation counteracts the loneliness that you feel in discipline and therefore leads to success in your goals. So it's literally saying that these days it is better to be connected and part of a community when trying to achieve your goals, especially those with shared values and goals, than it is to be alone and do it on your own. And this one's crazy, but women who had a accountability buddy, they ended up succeeding their goals and achieving them with more intensity and more consistently by up to 200% of what they normally would have if they were alone. So that's why when you came and visited me, you suddenly started walking and running because you suddenly had someone that was waking up in the morning being like, hey, I'm going, you coming or what? Like,
yeah, I can see that. I think people in general, like our society is supposed to be like social based, like community based, do things together. Just having someone there kind of with you just gives you more motivation naturally.
Yeah, community is everything, definitely. Anyway, if you're listening to this and you are dealing with the loneliness and you've been doing it on your own, just know that this episode is for you. We wish you well. There are so many ways that you can find community. If not, then you found us at the very least. And you can message us and we'll always be your accountability buddy. So yeah, hope you like this first episode. We'll chat to you soon. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Let's Be Honest podcast. If you love this episode, share it with a friend who needs to hear it. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok and subscribe wherever you're listening.
Cool. Oh my God, we're done. And it's 5:20. Fuck. I'm going to eat so much food.